Wrong thing.
Good evening and welcome to Scoop of the Clock News. I'm Louis Lee. Dateline Sudan. Sudanese President Omar al-Bashir has pledged 5,000 peacekeeping troops to be deployed to the U.S. as soon as they can charter a few planes. In the wake of yesterday's violent insurrection at the U.S. Capitol building, al-Bashir said, quote, "It's obvious we're not the most effed up country in the world anymore." Meanwhile, in the United States, the United Nations is calling an emergency meeting of its Security Council to discuss options in case the United States is no longer able to host the multinational organization. Secretary General Kofi Annan called CNN just a few hours ago to see if they had kept up with who the UN ambassador for America is in the wake of all the cabinet defections over the past 24 hours. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has not been heard from, at least online, but reporters in the White House press room say they can hear furniture being smashed and loud screaming voices from the East Wing. That's the news. Let's start the show.
Yep. Radio.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys.
I thought that might have been
We have
Joe's
way too much
placeholder.
serious going on for me not to come in a little hot and a little odd. Per Joe's request.
Well, you're
I'm
always a
rocking
little hot and a
extra.
little odd.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, we need it. We absolutely need it. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure how to follow today's news.
Okay. Oh, that's
I just,
well. Let's do this.
Not a lot has changed. A lot of people still calling for the 25th Amendment to be employed.
Now, Nick, or I'm sorry, Liz. Do you have that like written down? What the 25th Amendment is right now for those people?
I could look it up very easily, but basically, the 25th Amendment came into being during Johnson's administration, not Andrew, but Lyndon. And was first used with the very next president with Nixon. So basically it is if the president is incapacitated, then the vice president takes over, even if the president's not dead. If he can just be, there was always a codicil that if the president died, the vice president takes over. If the vice president dies, the Speaker of the House takes over. It's the
secession.
chain of succession. But the 25th Amendment was added to make it possible to get rid of a president who had gone Looney Tunes.
Which was probably a good thing when Lyndon was in office. Yeah. Because
he was a mean SOB, but he wasn't crazy.
How many presidents do you know that show off your appendix scar? Okay, look, this really did surgery on me. It's.
Well, he had a few other habits too.
Let me throw this out. Let me throw this out here real quick. The reason Joe and Heather are not on the show right now is they are on another channel watching. They're rocket launching. Yeah, they're watching one of the SpaceX rocket launches. They have 9 minutes and 5 seconds to go. So I'm actually watching it on.
No. This is the SpaceX.
Yeah,
they could have 9 minutes and 4 seconds and add another day to it.
That's the nature of rocket launch in general.
No. So. Wait a minute. United Launch Alliance, okay, had a rocket sitting down there on a pad for 6 months.
Jeez.
Okay, it just. I thought it was going to be a new monument. Like they put it down there with the Mercury and the Saturn.
They had to clean off the bird nest before they actually sent it up.
Yeah, no kidding. The problem was, and the bad part is, it was not the rocket. Okay, to be fair, it was the launch infrastructure. It was a big rocket, had 3 motors. Okay, and each motor had a clamp on it. And apparently, they got these big hydraulic systems that open the clamps right when the rocket motors fire. Okay. Guess what didn't work?
The hydraulic system.
They couldn't unclamp the rocket when they actually fired it up one day and nothing happened. It just the flame was coming out, and they had to shut it down and start all over again. So, wow. So eventually,
it had unclampsia.
The one problem with launching rockets out of Florida, that close to the coast, seawater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Corrosion.
They're in a swamp.
I'm surprised 6 months it didn't rust.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because I know I bought a grill when I lived in Cape Coral. The damn thing rusted in 3 months.
We can't launch a rocket today? Kudzu. Yeah, it's.
No, that's if they had it here.
Yeah.
Hey, this is the Kudzu freaking capital of the world.
You know what you never see in China?
The stuff
Kudzu. They sent it all over here.
Actually, I think it was the Japanese that sent it.
Was it the Japanese? Okay, Kudzu's Japanese. I couldn't remember. I thought it was Chinese.
That was the first. No, I don't remember exactly where it was from, but it was if I remember correctly, it was a U.S. Horticultural Society that got clippings from a Japanese horticultural society to use kudzu as a ground cover for places that were too poor a soil to grow anything else, to keep erosion down. And Copper Hill, Tennessee is one of the best places in the world for Yeah,
they brought it in for the Dust Bowl.
It turns out that kudzu grows really good on a copper tailings pile.
Mm-hmm. Well, it apparently is native to Japan and Southeast China, so both options were right.
That's why I was thinking it was from China. I don't know why, but
I've got my lovely box of knowledge over here trying to crank stuff out.
I would do that, but like I say, I've got this minimized to half my screen, and I've got Joe Dog's thing minimized to half my screen.
No! I have to run it completely separate. My internet's so bad, I have to have my phone going because I know it pings the tower across the state line. So they never, this is one thing doesn't conflict. Now, I have a tower in my backyard.
Between you and Dan, you guys have to have a contest, see who has the suckiest internet service. Man.
Oh, I win.
Well, I don't know. I mean, because Nick's Nick's audio probably clips less than yours. Well, come to think of it, and your video blotches more. So yeah, you win, Dan.
Yep. It's
I haven't been this happy to lose. Okay, Carly, they're back on their monitor challenge in the comments. And good evening, John B. Pica. No, right now I have an all-in-one box. I love it. It does what I need. But if I need another monitor, I have about a 40-something inch TV under here that I'm not using for anything. That I could run into that and just, go. Every time John reaches for something in his closet, I expect, an anti-aircraft gun to come flopping out or something.
I can't get it upstairs. But
an
they got little
anti-aircraft carrier
can help you with that. But
okay, I can't get it upstairs, and the tires are flat. Okay. But other than that,
now,
by the way, thank you, Carly. I just now clicked on to see the comments.
I can't do that and see anybody that isn't postage stamp size. So,
well, I normally keep it full screen, and then I'll minimize it every once in a while, just catch up on the comments. But
I used to run one monitor for the comments alone, and use the laptop for the actual chat. But it got to the point to where different browsers would go, wait a minute, you're using a laptop, we're not going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though the other browser was on the desktop, it's like, you don't have enough bandwidth to do this, Danny boy.
Carl Witzman said, was that the mystery seeds that everyone was getting in the mail? And did they ever actually confirm what those were? I know it was part of a shipping scam, and the Bureau of Agriculture, I think, got really into
2 minutes on their rocket launch. Okay.
Sure.
No, Kudzu came across.
Even money says it doesn't launch on time.
Really?
1920s or thereabout that Kudzu was brought over.
During the Dust Bowl era, 1920s.
So the recent spate of mystery seeds was pretty much just an Asian company that wanted to to get a presence through just sending mystery packages so they would get credit for actual shipping stuff, even if it was stuff that had been ordered by the people who actually received the seeds.
Hey guys, just got this across the AP, kind of a footnote to my opening news story. With 13 days left in his term, President Donald Trump finally bent to reality on Thursday amid growing talk trying to force him out early, acknowledging he'll peacefully leave after Congress affirmed his defeat. Trump led off a video from the White House by condemning, of course, he led the video off by condemning the violence carried out in his name a day earlier at the Capitol. You know he was forced to say that. Then for the first time, he admitted that his presidency would soon end, though he declined to mention President-elect Joe Biden by name or explicitly state that he had lost. Guy just can't admit defeat. Quote unquote, a new administration will be inaugurated on January 20, Trump said in a video. My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. This moment calls for healing and reconciliation. I would say that's about 34 hours too freaking late, jackass.
Launch. They are launching.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Nope.
Oh, well.
It's either a launch.
It's a good thing you didn't put any money on that, Lou.
I'm glad,
Can I ask we be very careful when we're talking about the Great Cheeto and the phrase "they're launching"?
Yes, because he still does have the football and the codes.
But
you know,
Babylon.
You know what? Maybe
I'm
he
pretty
saved
sure
the codes on Twitter and he doesn't even have access anymore.
There you go. Okay.
I think his football clearance has been canceled long ago.
I'm pretty sure somebody took the batteries out of that thing. You know, like you do with kids' toys that make too much noise. And
he's probably been carrying around an actual football this whole time.
Okay, sir. This is what launches the nuclear weapons. Hang on to this. Okay.
Really?
Now,
if you need to reboot it, you hold it over your head and shake it like this.
Okay. You ever watch an NFL game? Guy makes a touchdown, you throws the ball on the ground. That's how you launch nuclear missiles, sir.
So you spike the football.
Spike the football.
Well, then we know he couldn't because he has no physical athleticism at all. It would just sort of
little bitty hands.
Probably slide out of some greasy hands and fall.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Seriously. As much as he plays golf, how has he not developed a swing yet? I mean, it looks like he's half-in weed.
If you ain't got that swing.
No, the man has lost more money in his "I'm a businessman" LARP than he would have made if he would have just kept it in a bank account.
My father.
I mean, they actually checked it, but a little bit of interesting, semi-relevant news is I shared something, and it's a Wall Street Journal story that referenced something I studied when I was studying sociology, where this guy by the name of Igor Paninin wrote this big, long prediction of what was going to happen as soon as an ideologue got in power in America. Now, the interesting thing is, a year before that, and I can't find that document anymore, so he was writing a class for the KGB on the only way to rebrand America. And it was there was a list of things that had to happen. And I've spent the last probably 12 years warning somebody about this. And I found the Washington Journal. Anyway. And I shared the link. The thing is, it's dated from 2010. So it's really weird that the exact series of events that was predicted by a Russian sociologist both mirrored an old plan for how one would destabilize America in the world eye, and now has gone point for point almost throughout this current regime. It's really fascinating to look at. And I'll if you guys can't find it, I'll send you guys the link on one of the group chats. But it's they have
fairing separation. Okay. So.
Cool.
Yeah, I love watching those. You know, the fact that they can put the camera on there and you can watch the whole thing live until satellites deployed. And it just amazes me, you know, from when I was a kid and you literally had to take a day trip and drive down to Cape Canaveral and, you know, and that was it. You sat there for 3 hours in that huge crowd and all that traffic just to watch, you know, which was awesome. But, you know, then it was over.
Yeah.
Look at the cameras we're using right now. I mean, I doubt if any of them are, you know, larger than a pencil eraser.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody remembers what a pencil is.
Mine is. I'm using my big camcorder right now because my webcam is just underneath it.
No, my camera is literally that thick.
But to show you the quality difference, okay, this is my good camera. This is the one that I make a living with. Okay. And this is my webcam.
Color difference is obvious.
Okay. There's a slight difference in the color fidelity, but other than that, this little built-in camera is very much as high resolution as my
I can't notice any
camera.
resolution difference whatsoever.
Now, granted, this camera is capable of 4K, though if I set it at 4K, it won't translate.
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Right.
I'm going to check and see what mine's set.
4K, but it won't pass through.
All right, they're 5 minutes. They're 5 minutes and 55 seconds into the launch, and
she's just not that into you.
That little camera's pretty good. Yeah, it is, Carly. You know, but I was just talking to somebody. Actually, talking to Joe over on the other channel too. Watching those rockets land vertically, like I had to stop and tell myself this isn't CGI, because it just all the old sci-fis I grew up with, where the rockets had come down,
Yeah. When they would land on another planet, they would land like that. They would pop out the landing gear, and it's like Elon Musk watched all those movies, and he says, "I can do that."
Okay.
That is exactly what I have been thinking. I have been watching old episodes of Rocky Jones Space Ranger, and I've been going, this is exactly what Starship is supposed to be.
Well, I was watching Comet New Year's Day, and they had a Godzilla marathon on. And one of the Godzilla movies, they went to Planet X, and that's where the three-headed dragon was.
Ghidorah was.
And their spaceship landed just like SpaceX.
They did.
Well, you remember,
I'm a big kaiju fan, and
do you remember the TV
I like
show?
Mothra because I know that when Mothra's around, those cute little twins are.
Do you remember Salvage
and that song's going to be stuck in your head like for a week and a half every time you oh, absolutely. See, now I was a big Gamera fan because they showed the Gamera movies a lot more often on WGN. I think it was on like Sunday afternoons when I was a kid. And I realize now it's because the licensing was cheaper than going to Toho for Godzilla,
Yeah.
But
I used to watch the Godzilla movies every Sunday morning while I was ditching church on WGNO New Orleans 26, an independent station back then. Now they're the ABC affiliate. They went legit. But back then they were an independent station back in the 70s. And
Okay, here it comes for landing. It's on the barge, and they stuck it. Oh, that's probably it's darn near centered. That is probably the closest to center I've ever seen one of those things land on the barge.
Wow.
That's awesome. I can't wait to go check that out later. I really can't, but
and Heather's losing her mind.
Well, yeah. It's mind losable.
Now, if they do the fairing catch with the two fairing boats, they're golden. That's one of the, I can't wait until they get the second stages built that are recoverable. Because right now, that's the only thing. That and the satellite bus are the only things they don't recover. And the satellites.
Yeah, well, there's somebody going up there to try and get the space junk, so some of those will be recovered later. It looks,
all sorts of great stuff is going to be recovered.
It looks like a big claw ship from Babylon 5 or something.
Which is exactly what they need.
Wait, isn't it the Swiss? Is it the Swiss or the Swedish who got the rights to that just fairly recently?
I'd have to look it up.
The rights to what?
I remember.
The Swedish got the rights to what?
Recovery.
To be the first, essentially orbital garbage hauler. They're setting up a ship to scoop up.
Yeah, hang on a minute. The European Space Agency to send Clear Space 1 robot to clear space debris.
Wally.
Well, no, you got a cross between Quark and Salvage 1.
Yeah.
I must have misheard you because I thought you said pork, and all I could hear is pigs
Oh.
in space.
Here's
No,
an
no.
Here's an interesting one.
The fellow from Westworld. What was his name? The actor's name?
Yul Brynner?
No.
Yeah.
One of the cowboy customers for the original Westworld.
Wow.
You had what's his name? Brolin and the Jewish guy.
That's the one, the Jewish guy.
Played the vampire. Played the vampire cop, the cop that was trying to catch a vampire. No, he was a psychiatrist trying to catch a vampire. That was it. And
Richard Benjamin, wasn't
Richard Benjamin. That was it. Yep.
I'm more interested in this program involving a cop trying to catch a vampire, because that sounds like it would have been. I should not have missed the program.
That's been
sadly lacking in your life.
What was the one?
Yeah.
Once Bitten with what was his name? George
Harrison.
George
Hamilton.
George Hamilton.
George Hamilton
played
Black
vampire.
Chicken. I remember that movie. Okay,
Japan is going to develop wooden satellites to cut down on space. Wooden satellites to cut down on space junk.
Oh no, they'll
even the metal ones burn up on re-entry.
They'll make them out of bamboo.
Do is just make sure you have a deorbit jet. You know,
I bet they're talking about that new wood-based plastic they've been designing. There's a really weird bioorganic plastic that was coming out of, if I remember right, coming out of Japan. I do like to follow my weird tech news, but
so it's
been a while.
Plastic.
Yeah, because they want renewability.
Yeah, and if it blows up on the pad, they just grow another one.
The problem is when it grows up, it just sprouts, and then you have all these.
Hey, there you go. Bamboo space stations. They grow 3 inches a day.
Next thing you know, we have a Dyson sphere made out of bamboo.
Hey, without having to fight gravity, imagine it might even be more than that.
That would be, imagine if you could do that.
Defying gravity. I wonder where I've heard that before.
I mean, let's face it. Everything we do in space is pretty much based on a plant. Solar panels absorb sunlight for energy.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they have artificial leaves now. Somebody was releasing.
I read that. Yes.
Artificially created, which could be a food source actually, because it's making sucrose or fructose. It makes a sugar through artificial photosynthesis.
Hey, I'm still waiting for dehydrated alcohol.
So when you buy a soda pop in the future, it comes with its own little plant sticking out of the bottle. And the longer you let it sit on the shelf, the sweeter it is.
You remember the scene in Alien Resurrection where he opened up the little MRE package and poured out the little cube of whiskey, put it underneath the laser, and fired the laser at it, and the laser heated it up, and it turned into a glass of whiskey. Just...
I also remember the rehydrator from Back in the Future too. And there was something similar in Fifth Element.
Poured out the chicken pills, put them in the thing, pushed.
Yeah, it's like a microwave. You put it in chicken.
Carl Witzman wants that whiskey. Wow. Yeah, you mentioned alcohol, and Carl and Carly just
Carl and Carly.
It's kind of fascinating.
Hey, I'm still waiting. I want to see it before I die. Dehydrated beer.
Check with me tomorrow morning when I wake up.
It needs to be something like an Alka-Seltzer tablet. You put it in a glass, you pour the water in with it, and you get foamy beer. I mean, this.
Give me a second, because I
It's
think
got to be really cold water, though.
John, have you ever heard of fizzies?
Yeah, but
That's what fizzies are, except that it's soda pop. It's literally an Alka-Seltzer sized tablet. You drop it in water. It's got the carbonation built in, the sugar, the flavoring. You drop it into a glass of water, it turns into soda.
Okay. I can tell you one reason that dehydrated beer has not been invented yet.
Because you can't dehydrate alcohol.
No, the military. Every damn canteen in the military.
According to Beer Street Journal, in August of 2012, powdered beer to go, just add water, was developed. And it comes in little pouches. Alaska-based company Pat's Backcountry Beverages. You literally it's not dehydrated. It's a waterless beer that has flavor, aroma, and alcohol of a micro beer. You add concentrate with water, add bubbles, add a carburetor bottle. Pardon my speech. Carbonator bottle, and boom, beer on the go.
Carl came up with another good one too. Guys in the Marine Corps would just take the powder.
Oh yeah. They keep that in snuff cans. I mean,
that's why you don't have the little Alka-Seltzer tablet instant beer, because too many people would be just knocking down, just chewing it up. Can you imagine a DUI rate if that was a thing? People be going, morning rush hour. Oh, I got cut off. Let me pop one of these.
Oh, they're just. Well, you know what this burger needs? Some powdered beer.
Hey,
I can see
that is not as bad as you say it is, because I've made beer burgers before.
No. I aside from because of my allergy, I have to avoid such things.
Okay, but another one that I was talking about was powdered Worcestershire sauce.
Now I could use that.
Comes in a shaker, and you shake it out like any of the other seasonings.
I know that there's a wonderful version of powdered Red Hot.
Yeah.
Frank Red Hot has a powdered version that's phenomenal, but they discontinued it because people whined about it too hot or something.
So, the reason I would want powdered Worcestershire sauce, basically, is if you're making hamburgers or meatloaf or something like that, you can add the powder to the meat mix. And
they absolutely sell that.
As the juices came out, it would reconstitute the sauce.
I'm also surprised nobody's ever come out with Worcestershire breadcrumbs.
I don't know about Worcestershire breadcrumbs, but
like croutons. Oh,
Carl, instead of boiling the hot dogs, why don't you just simmer them? If it doesn't actually come to a boil, maybe the alcohol will stay in there.
Too many people would be drinking the hot dog beer. Hey,
I used to have a dog that loved hot dog
water.
Yeah. Oh man,
yeah. I was a hot dog guy for a while. You can't keep dogs away from that stuff.
No.
I make baby back ribs on the grill, and it's the 3-2-1 method where you smoke them for 3 hours, you wrap them in aluminum foil with the apple juice and stuff for 2 hours, and then you pull them out and you do them for 1 more hour, and then you add your sauce for that last hour and let the meat draw up with the sauce and everything. It's just really good.
Good.
All right, John. I take the baby back ribs and I put them in the pressure cooker, and I add some barbecue sauce that's mixed with some liquid smoke. And 50 minutes later, you have to get the ribs out with a spoon, because if you grab onto a bone, you're going to pull up a bone. Seriously. Fall off the bone tender. Oh my God.
These things are. But what's really nice about it
is it takes 50 minutes instead of 5 hours.
Actually, mine takes closer to 7. But the thing is, though, you can cook all the other stuff in with it too. But what's really nice about it is, and why I was talking about it is the dogs. When you undo the aluminum foil, you've got all that juice in the bottom of the aluminum foil, and you have to pull the ribs. That's about where they'll fall apart right there, is when you go to pull them out of the aluminum foil, and you put them on the smoker grill, and you have to get rid of that juice. And I'll pour it over the side of the deck, and 5 seconds later, there's all the dogs are over there eating the dirt. Yeah.
Why are you? No, you.
I know you're losing so much flavor. You save that and make a basting gravy out of it. You know.
Yeah, man. Add a roux to it,
Mm-hmm.
or save it in
No. Okay,
stock.
hang on a
Because,
minute.
I follow the heavy light rule. You eat a big
it's mostly
one day.
It's mostly
Your
apple
stomach can
juice.
take a break. Put a stir fry in that. Oh God. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
And I've tried saving it before. It just doesn't do well. So.
But yeah, I bet the dogs that eat the dirt.
I got a Blackstone griddle.
I saw that. How's that doing?
Oh God. I made Philly cheesesteaks on it tonight. Oh my God.
Are those things coated? Are those things steel, or are they coated?
They're steel, but they act just like cast iron. Nice, even heating. I mean, if you put both burners up to full, it'll get 600 degrees. I mean, it'll flat dab scorch. But
I've got a little Coleman camp stove. The little green one runs on propane. Okay. And what's not, it's one side's a burner. You can do a pot on one side. The other side's a griddle.
Oh, God.
That's and the thing is you saute the vegetables on one side, the meat on the other, and then you mix them all together and throw that provolone on top and just let it melt right there on the griddle. And then take my big long spatula and scoop it up, put it right on the toasted bread, and you toast the bread right. Man, I cooked breakfast. I cooked breakfast on it just the other day, and I'm like, I'm right here. I just threw a couple slices of bread on the griddle. I mean, my toaster for 2 slices literally takes 3.5 minutes, and it's uneven. Yeah. And I put this bread directly on the griddle, perfectly toasted in 30 seconds.
Oh, God. I am so glad that my wife doesn't work tomorrow, because whenever I'm done talking with you guys, which may be extensive because it's been a while since I've messed with Dan, and we can't get on a conversation without us, leaving like we've been beaten and half drunk, having partially solved all the universe's problems, only to forget it by the time we log off.
That's why we record this.
Yeah, well, we can't record our parts. But
before we get too off key, go remind me, Nick, that I got one more food thing to do before you.
Oh, hit it.
Oh, I was going to let you. Okay.
No, I'm fine.
Has anyone tried the Hidden Valley Ranch seasonings? Apparently, they got some big shaker season. They've been doing the commercial for it, where somebody gets invited over to have grandma's famous macaroni and cheese, and she reaches into her purse and pulls out the thing as the shaker and shake. Everybody's watching her. What the hell are you doing to grandma's famous recipe?
Improve it.
And she gives grandma a bite, and grandma's like, "Give me that stuff."
I don't know. I'm in the market for such things, because since I got that Red Hot, mixed with the garlic powder stuff, that lived in my shirt pocket for a while till I ran out of it. I
had a pouch on my uniform when I was in Iraq. Mm-hmm. It looked like a small grenade pouch or something like that. Tabasco sauce.
Yeah, you know what? My dad was the same way. He was a Brownwater Navy. He's still alive, but he was Brownwater Navy in Vietnam. And growing up, he never went anywhere without his Tabasco sauce. He had the little one right in a little shirt clip and everything. He had a screwdriver and his Tabasco sauce. Because he said, when everything was going to hell, the only thing that he could use to control some part of his world was he could hit it with Tabasco sauce. And then his stomach got bad, so it switched to like red hot. Then it downgraded to garlic pepper. But always has some kind of spice on him.
I wonder if I could make a Tabasco sauce screwdriver.
Hey, John.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Well, Tabasco goes into Bloody Mary, so just make a Bloody Mary.
No.
Can you share my screen here?
I cannot. I don't have
for Nick.
admin. I can.
Man.
Well, I got to fix that thing. So
none of us have control power here.
Oh, Nick sweet Mary and Joseph, gentlemen. That is rated F for fatty. That physically hurts. Oh my Lord in heaven.
And you can't even see all the bell pepper and onion under all the cheese.
That's the way it should be. Okay. I'm going to throw one at Lewis for his next project.
What?
Rubens.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely.
Oh.
I will cut somebody for a good Reuben.
Hey,
no joke.
There is a restaurant downtown in Chattanooga.
Here's the breakfast that I made the other day. That's the toast as made on the griddle.
It looks perfect, yes.
Oh.
And a hard fried egg and bacon.
Oh,
it's funny. My wife got an electric griddle, and we got one of those toaster ovens with the air fryer setting. And we barely use the big, unless we're doing like a big dinner or boiling noodles, we don't use the regular stuff at all. Because those are just, oh God, you guys are killing me.
Oh, tell me about it.
That was
another breakfast that I did.
See, now I want to get some Italian beef.
The smash burger that I made.
I was wondering how those turned out. I was going to
Nick, that was the best hamburger I've ever eaten in my life. And I made some shoestring French fries and a chocolate shake.
So you did steak and shake at home, but better, right?
I did steak and shake at home. All right. You go to Steak and Shake. Have you had the Wisconsin buttery burger?
Yes, sir.
It tasted exactly like that, but a notch better.
Oh.
The way you cook these, Nick, it is so cool. You cut the onions paper thin, okay?
Right.
Strings. I mean, just it looks like a ball of yarn when you're done, okay? You take about 1/3 of a pound of loose ground chuck, you throw it on there and you smash it with a good broad, okay, just like they do at Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
All right. And then after you start getting a good griddle on, then you take a handful of onions and put it on top of the raw side. And then you scrape it up and you flip it over onto the onions, and the onions steam.
Yeah, they're caramelized
the ground beef. Huh?
They're like caramelize. Oh.
And they caramelize under the beef. And then you just throw the cheese on top of that and then put them on a toasted bun. Nick, it was the first time I had ever tried to make these smash burgers, and they came out so perfect. It was unbelievable.
Y'all have seen the meme about the
we do a
sandwich.
Good meatloaf, and then we pat it down into patties and do it that way. Oh.
Fried potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And after I cooked the bacon, now we got some potatoes and onions on the grill.
Oh, post bacon. Oh, you're killing me. Killing me.
These were being cooked in the bacon grease.
Well, yeah.
Hey, you know what else you're gonna have to get, Lewis?
Huh?
You're gonna have to get you pounds of butter that aren't sticks, just the solid 1 pound of butter. And like they do at Waffle House.
A friend of mine goes to an Amish dairy in Alabama about 4 times a year, and whenever she does, I have her bring back some bulk butter.
I think you can get
$6 a pound, but it's worth every penny.
Oh yeah,
you can get bulk butter at most stores.
That was the Blackstone before I seasoned it.
Oh.
That was right out of the box. And then this is after seasoning it.
Jeez.
That thing's propane, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now this one is the 22-inch tabletop model. It's actually designed to take the little propane bottles, but I've got a hose, so I run the big bottle on it.
I actually thought about getting one of those for camping one time.
Before Jake got put together,
use the big bottles.
Propane bottles.
Well, this one eventually has to go to the camper. Eventually. But
you're threatening to buy one for the house, aren't you?
Yeah, I want to get the 36-inch for the house. The 36-inch has 4 burners. So you got 4 different temperature zones.
You got your own Waffle House right there.
Yeah,
I'm
thinking about going to Waffle House just to pick up some tips on how to cook on the flat top.
Do it. And you go to a good restaurant like that, you just sit and watch them. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Find the oldest, fattest, meanest-looking cook you can find and pay attention.
And steal the jukebox.
Hey, I'm one of those guys that when I go to Waffle House, I leave an extra tip for the cook.
Yeah.
That's better than hibachi, man. That's dinner and a show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or breakfast and a show.
You just sit up there at the bar. You've got your camera set up on a tripod over your shoulder.
Hey. What do they call it?
This is for my private collection.
Yeah. The Bacon Lovers. Yes. The Bacon Lovers BLT and a large bowl of chili. And hash browns all the way. That's good. Smothered, covered, chunked.
Scattered, smothered, covered, chunked, and
y'all are going to go ahead and make a food hub website.
Yeah.
I am going to try hash browns on it next for breakfast.
That's one thing I've never really made is because, there's hash browns. Not only, there's a certain way. You got to cut the potatoes a certain way. You got to let them dry. Then egg wash them. And then,
I have never successfully made hash browns by myself, but I think with this flat top, I may actually do it.
Best hash browns I ever had. I had them in Iraq, and the cook there made them himself. Had people helping him, but he did the whole thing with had the industrial grater, big thing, and but he'd bring them out, and he would have this bowl. He put them in the bowl, add all the ingredients right, pour it into a Ziploc bag the night before he needed them, and stick them in the fridge.
Yep.
In the egg wash, basically. Take them out the next morning, run them through the strainer, and that was what he threw on the grill. And I mean, that when you wake up in the morning, somebody's making pancakes.
He was having a religious experience, Nick, just remembering it.
Yes, I could tell from the expression.
You could smell fried chicken when they're baking the chicken or frying the chicken. You could smell the bacon cooking. You could smell anything with onions. That was normal mess hall smells. But when he was doing those hash browns, the whole place smelled like cake. The whole base just smelled like somebody was cooking cakes.
I know.
I told you, food hub.
Sorry. when the world returns to normal and I have my 36-inch, I'll have a flat top party.
Hey, Lewis, one of these years when they go back to reality, we're going to have to invite you to several science fiction conventions. And one of the ones we're going to have to take you to is Outside Con.
Yeah. I've heard very good things. I've never been myself.
It's up in Tennessee. It's in Tennessee. It's at a state park.
It's a Chattanooga crowd, same ones that do Liberty Con and Alicon
and a lot of the Nashville crowd. All sorts of people show up, but it's outdoors. Everybody brings tents or campers.
All right. Well, I got a Class C that can sleep 6.
So you guys have essentially a sci-fi con that feels like an SCA event without the pomposity. Sorry.
And they do actually have
exactly.
They have archery and things of that nature and sing along.
Oh, See, now I'm gonna have to bug my wife and tell her about all this cooking.
Oh, what the hell was that?
Aliens.
No, Joe ended the launch feed, I think it is. What? Oh, no. Okay, yes, he did. He ended Armchair Rocket Science. Okay. And
No, that means we've got to put up with him now.
Yeah. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden,
Because
a commercial came up for Prodigal Son.
Pork chops still haven't been discussed, so we got time.
He's asleep in the backyard. Yeah.
Because
the next thing that I'm going to do on the flat top dinner wise, see it.
Oh my God.
Well, okay. Saturday I'm doing hibachi style stir fry.
Okay.
But maybe Sunday night I'm doing ribeyes. Inch and a half thick. We've got a butcher shop right around the corner. Inch and a half thick ribeyes, 500-degree flat top.
Lewis.
What?
When you get your new grill, the big one.
Yeah. The big one.
You need to get a table made for it out on your deck or whatever.
Yeah.
That looks like the flight deck of an aircraft carrier.
Ooh, make it a real flat top.
And have a real flat top. And actually, like,
that's doable.
Do that, man. Hey, I made my son a bed. I made my son a bed in the shape of the space shuttle. Okay, I took a drawing of the space shuttle from the side, projected it with an overhead projector, projected it on a piece of plywood, traced it, cut it, painted it, slapped it together, made a bed in the middle, and right above his head was where the vertical stabilizer was, and I made a shelf up there. He loved it, but it was too heavy to move from that house.
Oh,
yeah. That's what my wife at the time thought about the waterbed that I had inherited when I rented the place.
The waterbed, all you got to do is empty it, and you can move it.
Oh no!
No,
a lot of those things, just the rails and stuff weighed a half a ton.
This was a California king size.
Yeah.
It would not fit through a doorway without total disassembly. Guess who was stubborn enough to take that thing with them? The fellow that had originally left it in the house turned out to be someone that I met at a party, and I bought the bed because it was in the house I was renting.
Okay. You know what I like about these wireless headphones?
You can get up and go get a beer without having to unplug.
Yes.
And if you hit the bathroom,
but now we can't talk about him while he's off camera.
Sure we can. He can just hear us.
Why stop now?
Yeah, really.
Exactly. I don't believe in saying
pork chop.
You know what? Yeah, Brian mentioned that I had a geek gas.
Hi, John.
You're very possible. And good to see you, Brian. You guys get preview. Cindy kept sent me a manatee in the mail.
Oh, the humanity.
Yeah, it's just awesome. She sent me a manatee that she made.
That's
so
cute.
this is going to be following me around for a while to my shows because of the Manatee Man remark. And so that I can plug that she makes these things. Because it's just after last couple days getting a random package with a freaking manatee in the mail just blew my mind. And I needed that, so we need that. The launch was good, guys. I have a question for you. You guys are rocket scientists, so think about this. How far out do the sticks need to be from the rocket launch to either properly toast marshmallows or roast hot dogs?
Depends on the rocket engine.
It depends.
Depends on the rocket engine.
I encourage you guys to go, since you're in good terms with SpaceX.
Yeah.
Please, on behalf of me, ask them for the sake of science to figure this out, because this is, inquiring minds want to know.
It is within 100 yards.
Oh, yeah.
But since safety protocol states you're not allowed to have somebody within so many miles of the lot,
You just put titanium hot dog thingies out there, and
then,
Hey,
and then after the launch, you come back.
Well,
Send it thrown in. I mean,
well, the problem is by the time you actually get back, probably the birds and coyotes in Texas will probably already eat them up.
not to mention the robot dog.
Hey, Blake.
Howdy.
Now,
But
I
I
got
gotta
to ask, is this the second or the third clone of Joe we've got tonight?
No, this is me. And Lewis, I gotta ask. How is the Blackstone? Because I've been watching all those videos.
You
missed that whole segment, man.
that was me.
Yeah, we can't
put
talk
your
about it.
screen up.
You will have
Nick
to watch
will
the
have
beginning of the show.
an eargasm.
When you started talking about sharing your screen,
3 a.m.
that
with
was
my
me.
smoking Joe out in the cold just because I need to barbecue. Yes. Yes. I have way too much Sweet Baby Ray's in my house right now, though. So
Yeah. No,
Looks like
the flat top
have a
is doing very, very well. Thank you. I made Philly cheesesteaks with it this morning, this evening.
Gosh.
Hush. Just
Now
hush.
you wanted to talk about pork chops.
yes, okay. Yes, my wife was.
I have been playing with a crock pot for years now. Best pork chops I have made that way. You put down a layer of sauerkraut, you put down your pork chops, you put down another layer of sauerkraut, just a little dribble of water, and you let it go for 3 hours on high, and then turn it down to low, and you keep sticking a fork in the damn thing about every hour and a half until it is absolutely perfectly done.
I'm going to throw one at y'all that you got to try now that I'm going to tell you about it. Okay. It's fried though. I guess you could do it on the Blackstone, but there is a German dish called Jaeger Schnitzel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can just imagine.
Hunter's schnitzel, Hunter's meal, whatever you want to call it. But it's basically you take a pork chop, you mash it flat with a mallet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's dipped in batter. You fry it up. It goes on a bed of egg noodles or noodles. And there's
because Joe missed it.
Yeah. And then you cover it in mushroom and sour cream gravy.
Oh, God. That sounds good. Now, Lewis, just to let you know, I'll call you before I leave. It takes me about 15 minutes to get there. Just have one ready.
Keep it hot.
You can have your mask out and I'll drive by. You can have it.
I'll throw it in the window.
And throw it in the window.
Hey, Joe Dog,
Put it in the mailbox.
Hey, Joe.
Breakfast.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That toast was actually done on the flat top.
Yeah, that's the way it needs to be done.
Took about a tenth of the time my toaster does.
Also, I got this tonight.
Hey, John, where is that at?
What?
John P. Pica.
See, I can't eat jerk because
Opry Mills.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, super good place.
It's a place that I'm holding out to go eat until my kid turns 21.
Well,
because he really wants to go there.
Well, what
I
you
thought
do
you
is
were going to kick him out of the house so you finally had some freedom.
No, Heather, what you do is you buy him the dress and then he gets 10% off.
For MEPS on Sunday.
Okay. I was telling Lewis that we need to take him to Outside Con.
Oh, yeah.
Lewis
Hot chicken biscuit.
would love it.
Yeah.
I want to go.
Yeah, look, hey, trust me, Worm, you know Worm. Worm.
Yeah.
He takes his camper with him.
Yeah. Well, I'd bring my Class C.
Yeah.
What's that state park?
In this blacktop.
Montgomery Bell.
Montgomery Bell Skate Park. It's in Dixon, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Wait a second. I think I've been there. That sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. Have you been to Ernest Day?
No.
John B. Pica has asked me a good question.
I think
my favorite local restaurant in Nuga. Sadly, they have closed. It was called Aretha Frankenstein's.
They closed?
Oh, wow. I didn't know they closed.
No.
COVID killed them.
Yep.
Now, I have sat in the waiting line there at 3 different Liberty Cons and still never got to eat.
Now, there is another place I like to go, but I think COVID has killed them too. It's down on Dodds Avenue.
Oh, Bees?
Bees.
They're still open.
Oh, they're still
They
open.
are still open?
They are still open.
Oh, that's the place you wanted to take me to.
And Zarzar's right off of Main Street behind the fire hall.
Yeah.
Okay. Zarzar's.
Montgomery Bell State Park has 116 RV sites, 116 tent camping sites, 40 full hookups, 40 electric and water, 36 no hookups, 30 amps, and 2 pull-through. All ages, pets welcome.
I mean, if depending on the time of year, I can boondock.
September.
The weekend after Labor Day.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, you come down by me, I'll throw you an extension cord to at least keep the lights on.
That's a pass where my sister lives.
I was going to rent a
chem lights.
Here.
I can lend you some chem lights.
I was thinking about getting a cabin.
John, what were you doing? Never mind.
I said I could lend you some chem lights.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't see the. I thought you were doing a takeaway.
Yeah. You light up my life.
Oh, wait a second. Let me do it with my left hand so my Apple Watch can tell me good job.
So you masturbated 4 miles today?
I think we just got demonetized there. I thought.
I never said
we had it in like 3 weeks.
This video can't be monetized.
My mouth ain't dirty. Your ears are dirty.
We're talking about a medical medical terminology.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. Here's the my screen. Here's the setup for the smash burgers.
Oh, hush.
These are each 1/3 of a pound of ground chuck, paper thin onions, and brioche buns. A little bit of garlic powder, pepper, and salt, and a big, broad flapper.
Have you seen what is it called? It's
I have some Steak and Shake spats around somewhere.
Hang on a minute.
I wish I had them.
And John Pica says he's coming down January 16th for a podcast. We will see what we can do about that. Let me see what day it is.
You can buy those spats in common. They're the reason that they're so little at Steak and Shake most of the time when you go in and see them, that they're only about that big, is because you take a brick and you turn it upside down and you put sandpaper and you use the brick to lay it on and you just go back and forth and you sharpen the spat. And that's how Steak and Shake does it, so that they can scrape it off the grill. And it doesn't leave that residue on the grill, so they're not having to brick their grill.
Yeah.
I can give you all kinds of Steak and Shake.
After I'm done cooking, all I do is just scrape all the solids into the grease trap and then spray some water on it, let the steam clean it, and then just scrape it one more time and it's clean, ready to go. Love it.
They use the spat as the cleaning through the shift, and then once a shift, they brick their grill. with fryer grease. They take a coffee cup, one of the Steak and Shake coffee cups of fryer grease, and they put it on all 3 grills.
Yep.
And then they actually use a brick, a green scour pad, and then a piece of sandpaper that wraps around both of those. And that's how they brick their grill.
Well, I'm actually done it like 4 a.m. before.
I'm actually planning on putting a flat top on Grillzilla.
That could be awesome.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you what, man. This Blackstone, wow. I mean, it's been a favorite of campers for some time now. But you know, Denise got me that one. That was the 22-inch for Christmas, and I'm hesitant to put it out to the camper because I don't want to be without it. So what I'm going to do is buy a 36-inch for the house and then put that one on the camper.
How big is the one you got?
22.
Oh, okay.
And it's got 2 burners, and those 2 burners can crank that flat top up to 600 degrees. I've got the little infrared thermometer.
Yeah,
it hits 600 degrees. And the 36-inch has 4 burners.
Do you have an internal thermometer?
Yeah, I got one of those too.
Because don't ever use infrared thermometers on your food. They just show the surface. They just show the surface temperature. They don't show the internal temperature.
Yeah.
No, he was just checking.
If you use an EMF detector, it'll tell you if your hamburger's haunted.
Ooh.
Ghost burgers.
Hey, that's its own place. Haunted hamburgers.
Yeah. Boo burgers.
At this rate, I'm gonna have to fire up my charcoal grill at 3 in the freaking morning. I can feel it coming on. That.
And what's wrong with that? I mean,
well, tomorrow is Friday.
Girl.
Oh,
Really?
go.
Hey, don't laugh. I've done one of those 14-hour brisket smokes. Trust me. I've woken up at 3 in the morning to start a grill. Okay.
That looks amazing.
We did that one 4th of July with a pork roast butt. He's up every other hour.
Y'all brought up a memory.
For like 12, 14 hours out in the big bullet smoker, riding motorcycles around in the dirt and snow and whatever else. God.
I used to know a crowd that would actually have the hole in the ground full of charcoal, put a pig in there, cover it up, and cook that sucker for about 12, 14 hours, if not more.
I have always wanted to do the clay hens. Where you wrap it in sweet leaves or sweet gum leaves. And then once you get enough of those in place, you wrap the clay up around it. And then you drop it in the pit with the fire and rake the coals in on top of it. And when it's done.
Hell, John, we live in Georgia. No problem finding clay.
Yeah,
and no problem finding sweet gum leaves either.
But when you pull it out, you actually have to break the ceramic like a piggy bank. And there's grease going there, chicken grease going there. It's...
I'll be back.
That's not...
All right.
Now
if
try
I ever
that.
come down to see you, I'm gonna end up gaining 150 pounds. They're just gonna have to roll me back up north.
Welcome to Georgia. Welcome to Georgia.
Hey,
John,
Blake.
Try that with a pheasant.
Blake.
This is the patron
Nick's coming to Halicon.
State of bacon grease. I mean, this is the state that invented bacon grease. Okay.
Oh, I caught him with his mouth full.
Sorry, I was having the sign at you, Nick.
Yes.
This Nick?
Yeah, that Nick.
Not that Nick, but this Nick?
Yeah, that Nick right there.
No, this Nick.
Yeah, this Nick on your screen.
One and only, wine shirts and all.
All right. That's the thing.
Dad came up with his name.
That's my plan.
Yeah.
You know, that's right now one of the few things we're just trying to figure out if we can justify trying to work it or not. for cost assessments and
cost assessments, logistics with your son, and everything. I understand.
Yeah,
right. And
we are the most affordable con you'll go to. I promise you that.
Yeah, because you're going to save $150, $200 on food easy.
Oh, I know. I've listened to him talk, and it sounds amazing. My wife is excited. I'm just trying to get back into the, I'm the guy who, if I'm 6 months out from a con, I want to have it prepped, planned, long before any, even everything. I'm a logistics guy, I used to have a binder where every event I'd go to in the SCA, when it was, what we were doing, what we were bringing.
That's one thing. I miss Starlog magazine because Starlog used to have like that 2-page part in the middle that would tell you all the conventions.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know
fancons.com.
You know Kelly Lockhart?
Yes.
Southern Fandom Resource Guide?
Yes.
Well,
I still miss Starlog magazine.
Yeah, well.
Is that where I got my Marina Sirtis poster out of?
Possibly.
More than likely, yeah.
I'm not going into that.
It had Tasha Yar on the back, but yeah.
No, yeah. You just use the extra tar and slap it on the wall.
Oh.
Gonna need some aloe for that burn.
Wow.
2 years ago, Lindsay talked me out of buying a 28-foot Winnebago, or do they even come in that small a size?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Winnebago Brave, I think the shortest one's about 20 feet. So,
yeah. My first gig was setting them up for sales.
Well, this one needed to be cleaned inside and out, but it had been sitting parked for years, and the people were no longer using it. I'm going, I've bought 2 cars for less than what you want for this.
Yeah, some people are proud of their 25-year-old motorhomes.
No. What I'm saying is, I have bought 2 cars, 2 used cars.
Yeah.
For less than what they wanted for this land yacht. I'm going, that is like 3 months' pay. I could have bought it. Yeah. She said, no, we'll never use it. I'm going, honey, if you give me something like that, we will find a place to go. But no, I got overruled. Sadly.
That's the master getting something like that little day.
Yeah. Almost 2 years ago, we paid $21,000 for a 2005 30-footer. I think we got a pretty decent deal.
This was even more affordable than that. I mean, we're talking right about $12,000.
Well, how old was it?
Say
it was about 7 years old.
Oh God, that would have been a great deal.
Yeah. But that's on the list of things you watch in the next few months. Because I don't want to sound mercenary, but whenever there's certain kinds of economic problems, if you have money aside, you can get boats cheap. You can get RVs.
Oh wow!
The markup on a new RV, last I checked, was something like 200%, 200% to 300% across the board for the cost it takes to build them and stuff. It's insane. And the value drop off is the depreciation's ridiculous. So there's no real reason to buy a
brand new one.
Unless you're in a heavy meth community. I do have to put that caveat because that's a big problem with used RVs.
There are some used RVs out there you really don't want to buy.
This is true, but
yeah, Breaking Bad kind of ruined that whole used RV business.
It'd been going on a lot longer than that.
Hey, believe me, if Dad had
RV
sold the
place,
18-foot bed dump truck, I'd have built a damn trailer on the back of that thing.
I know a guy.
Dump bed.
I can see Dan converting one of those land trains from Australia that's like 6 semis long.
No,
into one
it would have just been basically take a mobile home that's 18 foot long and put it on the back of the dump truck. Only I would build it all myself. And I spent so much time driving that thing. Ooh, I almost got in trouble. I used to take the farm truck, the dump truck. We're talking 300 horse, 350 Chevy out to the basketball court at the middle school and cut donuts.
See, that sounds like, you know what that is? That's a restaurant marker. If you see a rig like that parked out front of a restaurant, that's where you stop.
Mm-hmm.
Just north of us in Kentland, Indiana, there's a place right by the Indiana-Illinois border called the Good Table. And I was driving by one day and I saw a combine and a manure spreader parked on one side of it and then a bunch of things. And I'm like, that is the place to go. And honest to God, if you guys ever come up here, you have to come up on like a Thursday because they have all-you-can-eat ribs and it looks like Fred Flintstone. Your first order is a slab that's 3 feet long that's folded over itself. The waitress like, okay, honey, if you start getting low, you let us know. It's like, oh, thank you, sweet bringer of love. But there's a question floating for Heather from John B. Pica.
He was hit on at Walgreens, and he needs to know for sure.
Dating advice with
Okay.
Heather.
Authors.
Well, most guys can't pick up the subtleness of a girl who is a dork and flirts. So
most
yeah,
guys can't pick up the subtleness of any girl that flirts,
especially dorks.
Yeah. Like in the Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group. Was that you that posted that?
Oh, that was so freaking funny.
That can honestly go either way. It just depends on the tone she had and her facial expression when she said it.
And where her eyes dilated and her body temperature raised slightly. And
I wasn't, no.
Was your wallet open?
Someone else's watch fly to me.
If the pupils are narrow and staring a hole through you.
I've told guys that I really like their outfit and meant it in a non-flirty way. But it's just how you say it and the body language and the facial expressions that go with it.
I think you follow up with a little bit of probing and you make conversation and see where it's going. I mean,
we don't talk about probing in a science fiction group. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Carl Wilson at the Good Table. Yes. That's the best thing.
Hey, the mama dog.
Well, then you should have said hi, John.
Yeah.
I can't remember if you're attached to anybody, so bear with me. But if she was very flirty, you should have said hi and talked up. Worst you could have done is sold the book.
Keep the conversation going.
Really?
Oh, no, you didn't. You have to keep the conversation going.
Nope.
It's bursting into flames. It's what other humanity. Oh,
you got to get an end to her snap, yo.
Oh, the humanity.
The huge manatees. What are we going to do?
Paint them blue and turn them loose.
Okay, I'm now ready for a B-grade, Florida-bound kaiju movie called Oh, the Huge Manatee. I'm ready for that now.
Yeah, here's an interesting question.
They would have
you're in the right room, John.
Well, I actually showed Nick a video during the delay.
And boy, weren't the police pissed about that.
Nick about fell clean out of his chair.
Oh, stop.
Oh God, it was funny. I know what he's talking about. Well, I think I know what he's talking
Lay
about.
down.
They know what I'm talking about.
Look
Oh.
at this.
What is that?
A stylophone.
A what?
A stylophone.
A stylophone.
Mm-hmm.
So it tells me what tie to wear tomorrow.
No.
I gotta take my.
Don't
No, that's a
too
musical
close to
instrument,
me.
isn't it?
Yeah,
I had to
it's a
take my dog
synthesizer.
out.
What?
Cool.
God, that's from the 70s. Huh?
Mm-hmm. They're starting to repackage them again.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I paid
Oh,
like
that's cool.
$30 for this one.
Ha ha ha.
And then also Korg. Everyone knows Korg.
Yeah.
Yes, I own
They make
several.
they make the ones on acid.
Oh wow.
This is a dual modulator.
Wow.
I'm getting one that's a feedback modulator one next week. These are 60, but this one plays two different modular tones at the same time.
Well, I have an Animoog.
Ooh.
It's an app.
There's an app for that.
There, now you can see it. Here, let me zoom in. Can you hear it?
Let's hear me.
Do not
Yeah.
adjust your set. We control the vertical. We control the horizontal.
But it is completely, I don't know how I did that. It's completely customizable as far as flange, all the tone.
How much is it on the App Store?
I don't even remember how much I paid for it, but it couldn't have been much. I'm cheap.
I love people.
Hey, if it was more than free, he probably didn't pay. He probably wouldn't have got it.
We know a pirate in Kentucky.
We can get a band together, Blake.
Yeah.
I'm having video game flashbacks from when I
Hey
was
Blake,
at the
did you see
mall
the
at the
guy down the
arcade.
street that had a Henway for sale?
No.
And by the way, Blake, it's polyphonic.
Mine's
Nice try,
mine's
John B.
I have a
Pica.
button that makes mine polyphonic.
I want you to know you're driving my dog crazy.
Hold on. Ooh, I can probably make dog noises.
No.
Poor
Not
Johnson
canine.
just rose from his grave.
Okay, help me out here. What was the name of that musical instrument from the movie Forbidden Planet?
That was
Theremin?
Theremin.
Yeah, theremin.
I really want a theremin too, but the good one's like $600.
Oh, they're
$600.
down to what they used to be.
You could build your own.
I paid $1,000 for an actual Korg synthesizer.
I want a Korg vocoder.
Theremin, yeah.
The vocoder that I want is $750.
I want, music is my weakness.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, John, fat Chi-Chi's an understatement. She is losing her mom bod. She still had this is my first puppyless show in 6 weeks.
Oh, did they finally all go home?
Yeah, everybody's got a home.
I have almost been adopted by a cat right now, and it's problematic. So,
And
I've got Violet laying over
my stylophone
in
drum machine
chair
comes
now.
tomorrow.
ooh,
Yeah.
My telescope comes in tomorrow.
I'm gonna
Nick,
tell you right now.
You
the
would have
first
loved
thing
my
you need-
apartment back in the late
You gotta go.
70s,
You're
early
wild.
80s. I had a full recording studio set up with an 18-piece drum kit, about 5 300-watt amplifiers, had 3 reel-to-reel tape recorders set up with a tape loop going. I had a 12-channel mixing board, half mic'd and half straight in line to the amplifiers. Had garage bands coming over and fooling around, and I would get up on my days off and I would create 3 songs, and before I finished my first pot of coffee for the day. I had like 7 synthesizers set up. 3 of them were MIDI together so that I could play them as if they were the Phantom of the Opera's organ or whatever.
That's cool.
And a couple of them were, let's see, there was a Mini Moog, and there was an ARP that was just the one smaller model from the one that was used by Edgar Winter when he was doing Frankenstein. And God, let's see, guitar or bass, the synths, the drum kit, and all this other. And when nobody was there trying to prove that they were not the next big hit band to come out of Athens, Georgia, I got to play with all of it by myself.
No, Carl, I don't.
Nice of you to try, though.
Yeah, Blake, I just found a stylophone for $33.99 at VAT 19.
Yeah, mine was about the same. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like the one that I used to have, man.
Wait a minute, that's a vape. That's not a.
That's a
Carl
stylophone.
asked if I used a Jewel. He's got some coupons that came in that he won't be able to use. No, mine is I build my own. So
Oh God, that thing's
I will
glued to the
recommend
disc.
learning how to play a Doonbeck, which is a little hand drum. Because if you play one, belly dancers will appear just about wherever you are.
By magic, yes.
I have found this out, much to my wife's annoyance.
Oh,
Because if you get going, it might take them a few minutes, but they will find you.
Especially at conventions.
I either watch them dance or I can drum, but I can't do both at the same time because I get distracted.
Oh, how can one be distracted by a belly dancer? I mean, seriously.
Paging Jelana. Paging Jelana.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Oh. I'd go get mine.
Yes.
Back
to the cereal box. All the cool kids are on YouTube. That's why we're stuck on Facebook.
Oh yeah. Hey, back in the toolbox. Yes. Learning how to play a Doonbeck will attract belly dancers. It's the
we were on YouTube until I did my shake weight imitation.
No, that was when I said masturbate 4 miles, I think.
we're back on this again.
With so much discussion on ranch.
Heather, it's guys. It will come around several times.
That's what you said.
Oh my gosh. A friend of mine bought a card game, and that's the name of that card game.
What? That's what you said?
Yeah, we're trying to figure out a time that we can get together before semester starts to play it.
Do y'all know anybody that plays Ticket to Ride?
I don't even know what that is.
I'm okay at it. I don't own a set or anything.
Yeah.
Not professionally, no.
I think I have the digital download somewhere too.
Well, the reason is that's one of the games that we play at Halicon. We play a 3-hour game.
I've never played a 3-hour game. I'm usually busy with something else.
3-hour game.
At the end of the 3 hours,
There are 7 of us.
the leading tycoon takes a $100 bill home with him.
Do you guys play Catan?
I do. Not really well. I tried to.
That's what I'm hearing.
My husband does.
It is pouring down rain at my house.
Blake, do you have that game?
I can pick it up for like $29.
I was gonna say
They have it at Walmart. They have the basic one at Walmart right now for like $29.99. Yeah.
Hey,
I was gonna say, We should set up a night to where you come over or we come to you and you guys play because he loves that game.
Yeah,
he learned to play it when he was in Germany.
Yeah, we could do Catan
or
John,
3-hour game of
TTR. You got Catan, you got Carcassonne, which is what I play with my son.
I play mostly digital Carcassonne. I haven't played in person too often.
I like Carcassonne. When we play a simplified version, because we usually play with my son, but
you know they have Junior, right, with the easier castles and stuff. Yeah, they have. I think it's in a blue box now. And it's it's like family or Junior Carcassonne. The tiles are a little bigger, and the castles are easier. Castles are usually like clover leaf shapes or circles.
Oh, okay. Because that's just great for the kids. I mean, and he beats me regularly, so I'm not worried about a simpler.
Okay.
We don't do like the farmers because the farmers are a little much for him, and like we don't use the bishops. But that's a great game. I've spent the last 10 years pretty much with an event called Arctic Con up in Maryville, Indiana. And I've been running games and stuff for it. So that's like, you got, when I'm not running Big Stompy Robots, which is my game, obviously. We're Carcassonne, Catan. I didn't get into Ticket to Ride much, but that was just, it's real popular and way too much Magic. Way too much Magic the Gathering, I say that affectionately, but then
I did that for years during Revised and 4th edition. Then I had to quit because it became like
I got in at Revised and 4th, and I got out at Tempest.
Yeah, I got out at like 10th, I think. So I played for like 6 years.
I started with Alpha. I took a break around Ice Age just because I was too broke, and then I hopped back in. And I don't like follow it, but my nephew runs games, and we do Lofi long table style, so it's like 16 people all on one big table duking it out, and you end up basically pulling out binoculars trying to figure out who has what. But
I got sick and tired of all of the counter decks, the stupid spells,
or
just got too much.
Yeah, now there's like turn 2 win decks and stuff like that. Like, I'm not a fan.
See, the nice thing about when you have a big group of people, there's always some idiot who's playing to have fun. And so we'd have like 2 people whose whole goal was solely to disrupt everything else. So you have that guy, and then, we're doing game reviews as part of our Geek Pop. Yeah. Are you or we are? Oh, we've been listening off games, huh? Last Defense, Unmatched, King of Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. That's a great one.
Santorini, I've heard.
Santorini's fun. It's basically like tower building, but you can only like stair step to get to the top of the tower and back down. So people can leave you stranded and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Now, y'all have all played Cards Against Humanity. Does anybody have a deck?
I have the original one and the very first 2 expansions, but I play one that's better.
Have you found the hidden card in the box?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's in the bigger, blacker box.
Yeah.
I don't have that. But I have one that's better, that I feel is better, and it's called Super Fight. You basically choose 2 cards. You have one that is a player in action or something, like we'll say Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, that's what you say.
Is it okay if I share my screen?
Unlimited in a couple hundred.
I guess, as long as it's not pornographic.
But
Back of the Cereal Box is played with me and a couple of other people.
That beautiful.
Is where I got my handle from.
Nice.
Classic.
So anytime you see Mind Twist or MNDTWST, that's me.
That's cool.
I have an Ornithopter card on my wall. and my nephew sent me a card. Fencing Ace.
I have some.
I still have 2 decks. One
I have
of them
one somewhere that
is
I'll
the
give one of you guys.
championship red deck, and then I think I have a red green deck.
I have the giant chaos orb floating around my house somewhere. The promotional one that's like 2 feet tall.
Yeah, I have. Unfortunately, I have pizza boxes. You know the card boxes that look like pizza boxes. I have stacks of them because a couple of my buddies got out of Magic and they sold off all their expensive cards. So they're like, I get this. Do you want some common cards?
Commons and uncommons.
I'm like, yeah, free anything comes my way. And next thing you know, I'm getting stacked with this whole,
50,000 cards. Yeah.
What was that deck that they put out that was all spoofs?
Unglued,
I have
Unglued and Unchained.
Something. Oh, those were the best cards. I pulled the big.
I'm missing 2 cards out of the entire series.
Well, the fun thing, they teamed up with The Walking Dead for a set, very limited run. I think it ended this month technically, and they teamed up with My Little Pony of all groups.
Oh, they did Bob Ross.
Yeah, Bob Ross is the new set. Yeah,
they need to do a My Little Pony Walking Dead crossover set.
My Little Walking Dead Pony.
Friendship
My Little it is the internet, so it's already happened. Just saying.
Does anyone here play Munchkin?
I have.
My husband does.
Floating around here somewhere.
I have a deck in my extra bedroom on the bookshelf.
Actually, Joe and I have met Steve.
Oh,
you guys started without me?
Wow, there he is.
Well, we started at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's because I told Joe Dog that he looks like a skinny Sam Kinison.
What do you mean I look like a skinny Sam Kinison?
Nick, can I ask a personal family question?
Anyway,
is your son a verbal or non-verbal spectrum kid?
He's verbal.
Okay. This
I have no problem
is a fun game for verbal children, especially if they dive into the pictures. So basically, you make up a keyword that's based on the card that you choose, but it has to be like 3 or 4 people that play. And then basically they all go face down, and then you choose the card that fits the clue. And then every player secretly guesses what card the storyteller plays. And then so he gets to tell a little bit of a story as he goes. It's called Dixit. They actually have it. They actually have it in Disney, and they have it in like a couple of different brands too, different like subcategories. There's like a children's one too with easier cards and stuff. Like, and then they have one that's literally just shapes and colors, if that's his thing too. So
who is this?
This is for Nick's son. But yeah, there's one that's literally just shapes and colors, which is pretty awesome too.
I'm always looking for things to see because he has a developmental delay, so he's 11. He functions about like an 8-year-old.
Okay, yeah, then he's pretty good at storytelling. Then, yeah,
but he's the problem. He's in the 99th percentile in height and weight, so he's built like a 13 to 14-year-old. With
Understood.
The functionality of an 8-year-old,
I understand. I spent time with the 22-year-old that was at the 9-year-old level just recently, and the coolest guy on the entire planet. Like we chilled and watched wrestling all day and had a blast. So,
but yeah, he when it's just seeing how comfortable he is how much, because unfortunately he spent enough time in school before I pulled him out that he picked up some habits, the sandbagging to not do, it was a mess. And that's not a public necessary story because no one wants to see me as angry as that story tends to lead to. But cool. I love
that's real fun.
He did that. We did a real simple version of D&D. And like I said, part of why I made Big Stompy Robots was I love games like BattleTech and Cav, if anybody played that.
Mech Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But the rules were all so complex, and people were always arguing about them. So I decided to make my own mech game that would be very simple, so that I could play it fast with my friends, or I could play it when I was working with special needs people, or with my son. So it's really, actually, it's great. I'm not trying to plug myself here. Really, I'm not. It's just.
What's up with the scroll?
Just me being a smart ass.
Trying to see if somebody was paying attention.
Yeah, I was paying attention.
I was just like, what did I miss when I
there's
took my
8
dog
of us on the screen, Joe Dog. Is that not enough?
No,
I have a game.
Louis, you'll understand
confession to make.
You'll understand it in the morning.
Okay.
Now I know this y'all have gone way beyond this stage, but have you ever played Risk with people that were so into it they would put 2 boards together and play?
No,
as if it were
you
one.
Told me. You told me about doing that when we were at Liberty. You told me about doing that, and I looked at you and I said, "You're crazy." Risk is already a game that takes forever and a day to play.
I went one step further. I made a 3-foot diameter entire globe, including Antarctica Risk board, including the oceans as playable territories.
I know people who've made custom 4 settings Risk boards. So back when like BattleTech was the thing, there was a Risk board floating around that was the whole inner sphere and all the clan territories. I've seen a Risk board for Toril, so Forgotten Realms as a Risk board. Yeah, I mean, people get into that.
Oh yeah.
Well, we did this back in the 70s. I mean, we were heavily recreational at the time, and it was
recreational. Yes.
Yes.
Actually, Dan,
all the electronic games did not exist at the time, so we had to make do with board games. And rather than making do with some super version of Monopoly, I made up this super version of Risk, and it was really, you had to have 2 games worth of pieces. You had to have separate cards made up for the 6 countries in Antarctica, if I may term them countries, but they were territories, and then each little recognizable sea in the worldwide ocean was also divided. So you had armies and you had navies. So you had army moves and navy moves in the same turn. And there were a couple of little tricks in there. If you went out into the Pacific, as if you were trying to sneak up on Australia from the east, you could actually find a couple of places where you could move enormous distances without seeming to, and it would put you in striking distance of. Basically, it's the same thing that the Japanese tried in World War II. Take out Hawaii, and you've got automatic access to California. But this is without, that era of warfare aerial warfare going on. Damn, if I'd had my stuff together,
it is.
I would have actually included air forces as well as navies and armies.
Yeah,
I got to think about that. I've still got the board. It's 4 feet wide.
Dogs.
It's totally hand drawn.
Those are slammers.
Yep.
That's cool. Oh, that's cool.
I've still got all of my old pogs too. I've got a slammer that's that thick.
I bought a bunch whenever GameStop tried to resell them for like $14 a piece, and I got them for like $1 a stack. So yeah.
Good night, Carl. Thank you.
Night, Carl.
I guess we'll see you with Brian K. Morris at 10 a.m. for Never Mind the Furthermore on Brian Morris's Facebook page, Brian K. Morris, BK, or the Rising Tide Publications on YouTube, and the Rising Tide Publishing on Facebook. Okay. Yeah, got that out.
Okay.
You might see him at 10 a.m., but I'll be at work.
I'll be asleep.
Who is back of the cereal box?
That's John Pica.
That's John Pica.
Thank you. So he's actually on here like twice. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for padding the numbers, John.
Hey,
Really?
Yeah.
well, see, I get to show up to make you all look better.
Oh,
Oh,
No, I didn't want to.
question, Nick. Have you
That's hard
have
to
you
do.
had your drink?
Oh, buddy, I'm being nice and flying low. I'm half. This was full when this started with the rocket launches.
Oh, see, we haven't seen the full Nick yet.
No, well, you see, I'm still. We haven't hit like we got a nice civil roll for conversation. It's pretty mellow, up and hopping. But as soon as we get on that snatch and grab, I'll lose it. I have had a couple people message me saying they like the Manatee better, and they'd prefer just the Manatee to be floating instead of me. But my arm gets tired holding the Manatee up. So,
and all I got to say is just please don't break the ceiling fan again.
Well, no, see, look, I have no reason to start waving around a pole arm. That's Well, actually, it wasn't this. It was I had my long spear. That's why this was given to me, because the long spear was a little too long, and then I, did battle with my horizontal windmills in full Don Quixote. But that's okay, because the ceiling fan started it. It looked at me funny.
Okay.
You pet the puppy. But no, guys. I see. We slipped into the realm of games, and I love games. I love board games. I love tactics games. I love anything that lets me pretend to blow stuff up.
I love mind games. Ask Skunk.
Yeah, you certainly do.
Well, you're such a good energy to play off of most of the time, Skunk. You've got that rebel without a clue.
That was the thing. It's like ever since I got back from what I was doing tonight, I've been wanting to tell y'all what I did, but every time I open my mouth, somebody talks over me, so I just shut up. Because I'm nice like that. I don't want to dominate the conversation.
Well, what did you do?
The reason why I'm so late is because for the first time in over a year, I got to wrestle in a wrestling ring tonight.
Yay!
You win?
Yep.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
It was training.
No,
it was training. It was just us training. We did basically what we did was we did some warm up drills, which I haven't done cardio like that in such a long damn time that as soon as I got done doing the cardio stuff, before we finished doing the cardio stuff, I had to run to the restroom to vomit up lunch and dinner. Because my body was just like, you haven't run like that in over a year. We need to get rid of some of this protein. So then after that, we just did some. We went back and refreshed on something that I haven't done in 3 years. An old drill that was taught to me and Jaden by a wrestler who goes by the name of B-Boy. We call him Uncle Benny. Really good dude, really awesome dude, amazing wrestler. This drill involved basically kind of like switching back and forth between having control and then giving control over to your opponent. And so we ran it both ways. And I was working with a old buddy of mine who just got back into wrestling as a very amateur, and he's got some ring rust on him too. He hasn't been in a ring since last year. It was 2 years ago. He hadn't been in a ring in 2 years. So I've actually been in a ring before him. So he's even rustier than I was. So, but we were worked together real well. And then after that, we did a heat drill where we just beat the crap out of each other for a while. So that was a lot of fun. and it had been the first time that I've been able to get into the ring in over a year. My body is sore, but I'm very glad and I feel very happy about it.
And how old are you again, Skunk?
I will be turning. Let's see, it's 21, so I'll be turning 35 this year, I think.
Lewis,
I'm having brain problems. Hold on.
He's gonna have fun in the morning, ain't he?
Yeah, buddy.
Anti-inflammatories, my friend.
Let me explain it. Let me explain. Right. Okay. The thing about it is that I feel better the day after I'm in the ring. I really do. Something about getting in there and bumping. Just loosens up the joints and it's almost like getting like a real deep tissue massage. You know, you get a nice good sweat going.
200-pound man.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm like, the days that I get home from work and I immediately pass out, I wake up the next day and I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow. I'm full of energy. I'm gonna be ready to go.
He's a body slam his manager. That's okay.
I wouldn't want to hurt. I wouldn't want to do that to her. Now I do want to find out whoever the fuck wrote. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. No, I apologize. Somebody wrote. My van was very messy and dirty on the sides because I drive all the time and I don't have time to get it washed. Plus, I'm not paying for it. If I got to pay to use the car wash. Luckily, my boss told me, she was like, hey, if you go down to that Powell's car wash, they'll give you a free wash every time you come down there and bring their checks as a thank you for bringing them money. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, but before I could get that done this week, in the midst of everything that was going on the past few days, somebody wrote a bunch of Trump stuff in the dirt on the side of my van, and I know it was a coworker. And I'm like, even if my political affiliations were towards Donald Trump, with the current political situation going on, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with any of that.
You don't want to be a target.
No, my dad and my stepmom and my mother and my stepfather, both separate couples, they're all lifelong Republicans, and they are absolutely ashamed right now. They're disgusted with what they're seeing. They're horrified.
Yeah, understandable, but we'll change that subject because that is not what we play here. After show, ask for a link.
Hey, you know what time it is?
Well, no, it's not quite that time yet. Yeah, you got a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and roll it now?
Yeah, let's roll it.
Are you ready to go ahead and get
gotta get my go on, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I did.
I'm more than happy to oblige anybody.
Thank you.
John, you're missing having control, aren't you?
No.
Yeah. All you've got to do is answer a message when I say, hey, you there?
Oh.
And we'll get you back on.
Oh, okay. And I've got to get the other laptop fired up so I can do my email. This laptop won't do email for some reason. Anyway, I get my brother over here to fix it. I'm sure it's some sort of security certificate thing.
I keep forgetting we have that, Blake.
Oh, okay.
He's playing with his new toy.
Blake, I challenge you to learn the theme music from the movie Tron by Saturday night.
I'll challenge you one even better.
The theme music to Tron is not done by Saturday Night. It's done by Wendy Carlos.
Well, we got to be careful because we don't want to get taken down because of music rights.
Blake, are you screwing around with a stylophone?
There's a very good chance
with
that
the duo
Blake would not be able to duplicate it so closely.
Oh, no, it's not a
copyright violation.
Fine.
Well, yeah, you missed all of that.
I'll mess around with the stylophone then.
Oh, you missed it during the Halicon Molly show. They did a song so well. Chris Armstrong and Brian, they did the song so well that it got flagged by YouTube.
Brian?
It was one of their own songs, wasn't it?
It's one of their own songs, and they got flagged for doing their own song
Is that
on HalloCon. Just like they would.
I thought his name was
No, it's Brian.
I thought his name was Josh.
No.
I've been calling him Josh for like 4 years.
Oh, that's why he looks at you like he can't stand you.
I swore up and down his name was Josh.
The Wolfhounds is Josh and
who's Josh?
Chris Armstrong.
You just said Josh.
No, there is no Josh.
You just said it's Josh and Chris Armstrong.
No, Brian and Chris Armstrong.
You did just say Josh.
I thought I heard Josh
Armstrong.
I heard a Josh.
Yeah. Okay, see, you got me confused.
I think he's joshing you, skunk.
There was a fuck you. There was a Josh. I'm telling you, there was a Josh involved with the Mollies at some point. I'm just trying to remember who it was now because I thought that was who that was. He's gonna kick my ass next time he sees me, isn't he?
Probably.
He can do it. I need to. You know who I need to talk to? I need to talk to Mark.
Carry a taser. It solves problems.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you don't know anybody that works at the Pigeon Forge wrestling show, do you, Skunk?
Yes, actually, I know the owner. Why do you ask? Out of curiosity.
I need 3 of them to take a picture.
Which 3?
Oh, pretty much any 3 of them.
What the hell happened?
The dial-up noise? I just warped back 20 years.
Blake, is that you?
Mm-mm.
You're ready to check my AOL Messenger.
John, did your headphones die?
No. Why?
Because it sounds like somebody's headphones quit working and there's a fan running.
I don't have any fans running at all right now.
I mean, I have my ceiling fan, but it's been going the whole time, and
yeah, we would have heard it before. It's just it sounded like somebody's sound changed devices.
This thing's got like a 12-hour battery in it.
I don't know. Let's see if it's me, because I got a new headphone cable, but because my right headphone was going out, but
it went away. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was
and is
something.
it back?
It's something Blake was doing.
I
don't hear it now.
Kind of. It keeps going in and out. I think you have a loose cable.
Hold on. Is it better now?
No.
It hasn't changed. It went away. That's the thing. It's not going now.
It's come back a little bit. It was completely gone earlier.
Oh, there's Dave Watson. Hey, Dave Watson. How are you doing?
Dave.
I have no idea.
Dave's not here, man.
Dave is here. But guess what, guys?
Somebody's saying really bad about Roger.
The end of the show.
It is now the end of the show.
That happened, and now I don't remember what it was. Thanks, random static noise. You threw me off of my groove, man.
Yeah.
Your groove, man. Don't mess with the skunk's groove.
Hey, play the almost end of the show thing again. We'll get back into the groove.
There you go. That's as much as you get.
All right. With that, we need to wrap this one up. Get ready for the after show that will premiere, that will show up on my personal page here in a minute.
All right, Blake, I'm going to mute you if you don't stop.
The system is down. The system is down.
Boys and their toys.
All right. So I'm going to ask everybody. It's time to say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds and done 100 things you have not dreamed of. Wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, when never lark nor even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God.